Alright guys, a couple of my mates and a couple of people have requested my controller settings. This is mostly for my mates, but they want to know what I play with and what I use for my DualSense Edge controller, and I will show you guys now. So let's get started. So everything's pretty basic. My button layout is just on default. Because of the Edge controller, obviously I use slide and jump on the back paddles, but I will show you that later on. I don't use any of these L1 button ping or flip them or anything. No stick layout preset. Controller vibration is off because I did use it for a while. I used it in a very low setting, so it wasn't overpowering, but it just got annoying in the end. No trigger effects. That is also annoying. Dead zones. Right now I have 0 dead zones on this controller, which is very good. But I do use 90 on the left stick and 90 on the right stick. I feel like that's a lot more reactive than, just the standard 99. Some people use 100, and that's just what they prefer, but I prefer it this way. So on to the aiming part of it. Um, for the stick sensitivities, I use custom. Not everybody uses these. Some people say this fucks your aim and stuff, but I think it is a lot more reactive. Um, I switch between 1.50 to 2. So 1.50 is just a nice mix. I think it's like 5.5, maybe 6 on the normal sensitivity. Something around that. It's not so bad, but I enjoy it. I use that same on both. But like I said, I do mess about with it. My sensitivity multiplier is at 70 because, like I said, this here is very reactive. So I feel like 70 is a nice balance between the fast turning and all that there. I don't use sensitivity multiplier. I don't use any of them. They're all just normal. The vertical aim axis, they're all standards. Don't fuck with that. Uh, Tactical sense has always been one. I don't know whether to turn this down or not. I've seen some people turn it down, but I like being able to, go into that mode and look fast around the corner. You know what I mean? So it works quite well for me there. I use dynamic. I used to use linear, but it's a wee bit too fast for me, and some of my controllers don't really work. I have a controller with 4 paddles on there, and it just doesn't feel right in that one. So I would use linear on that controller, but on this controller, dynamic is definitely 100%, and I use that at 0.85. It seems to make me more accurate at that, whereas 100 I feel a wee bit slow, a wee bit off-centered and stuff like that. But it works out. It works out all right. The sensitivity transition timing is instant. Used to have it in gradual, but obviously I like that 0.70 to kick in a lot quicker, so that works out well there. Um, Aim assist default. I tried everything else. I tried precision. It has too much of a strong pull when you're, you know, closer to the target. Didn't like that at all. Black Ops is alright, but I seem to miss a lot of my shots with that, so I just stick to default. Seems to be the best way. My gameplay, I use automatic sprint off. Warzone, I would sometimes switch it on, because there's a lot of running in Warzone, and it's easier to just push the stick forward rather than press it. But whenever I'm playing multiplayer ranked, I just keep it like this here because it's much easier. Let me see. Tactical sprint behavior, single tap run. Um, it's not too bad in that. Again, I do switch between them sometimes. Sometimes I go to double tap. It just depends really what I'm playing, um, and what I can adapt to that situation. Grounded mantle, always on. I used to use automatic ground mantle, but I noticed in some gunfights that I would just mantle onto random things, just completely random. Wouldn't even have to press the jump button, and it was just getting annoying. The slide and dive behavior, I use slide only. I used to use hybrid. Um, I started using it again recently because Black Ops 6 is coming out. But I don't really need to dive in this game, and I just do stupid things when I dive. Like I just dive all over the place, and it just gets out of hand. And everything else after that is pretty much basic. I haven't really changed much of these settings. Apply all, obviously, tap to reload. Warzone, tap to or prioritize it direct. Sometimes, just depends. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else is basically just the same. And yeah, that is my controller settings. Thank you very much, guys. And this is season 6. This is my DualSense Edge settings. On my left stick, I have stick sensitivity and dead zone. So dead zones are at 0, and I use dynamic -2 on the left stick. I also use the exact same on the right stick. I find this to be the best. I tried precision, turning around was a wee bit slow and stuff, but I feel like dynamic, it works pretty well, and the mix with dynamic in the game, and I change it down to 0.85, I think it gives me better control. I can turn really fast when I need to, my movement's pretty good, so, it works out pretty well. My button assignments, on my left back bumper, I have slide, and on my right, I have jump. That's really all I've changed there. It is much easier. I used to have jump on my right analog stick, which, sometimes I still use, and I would use the X as melee, but, it comes down to preference at the end of the day. So, my triggers, I've tried multiple ones, there's 99 to 100, but I use 0 to 1. It works pretty well. I've seen a lot of YouTubers use that, like Lunchtime. I'm pretty sure I saw him using that. A boy called Daniel, he does a lot of DualSense controller settings. And I think that was what he was using. I can't really remember, that was quite a while ago, but this is what I've stuck to, and it works very well. And that's pretty much it, guys. Please stay tuned. I've got a couple of short, not amazing clips, but some clips that I've hit that show that my movement with this controller and these settings are pretty good, and my aim's pretty good too. So enjoy, guys.
Come on, shot.